Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome back to the Gaming Butler news channel. If you would like to support us, please consider using this referral code when you sign up for an Ashes of Creations account. You can find the code below in the description as well. This referral program allows for a portion of your purchases to benefit this channel by way of benefits to our own game accounts. Today we bring you the highlights from the recent November developer update from Intrepid Studios and their flagship product, the MMO Ashes of Creation. Let's get to it. As always, Margaret Crone, the community marketing lead, kicked off the live stream with reminders as Stephen had serious wardrobe issues with a missing Intrepid shirt. With the holidays around the corner, the November live stream was 2 weeks early, and it was mentioned that December will be done earlier than usual as well. And while no specific date was given at this time, we can surmise it will be the 10th or the 17th of December. A reminder to check out the Glorious Gourd Contest winners if you haven't already seen them. Some spectacularly creative pumpkins from the community were submitted and received awards. A recap of the 24-hour Extra Life livestream can be found over at the official site, along with a YouTube video recap and a special message from Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego. Over $34,000 were raised by the Intrepid team and the Ashes community for a wonderful cause. For the community, 3 special lore unlocks occurred and should be available by year's end. All the links are below in the description. A reminder that the Home Water Cosmetics will swap over on December 8th and will no longer be available at that time. The user interface dev discussion went very well. The community was asked if it wanted something minimal, robust, or something in between. There was lots of great feedback and is currently being compiled into a report. The newest dev discussion is live on the forums and the team is eager for your input. So please be sure to get over there and provide feedback. The link is below. Currently, the holidays dev discussion is not live just yet, but should be in the coming weeks. So be sure to keep a lookout on the forums for that one. The guild gathering discussion around guild politics is going well and more feedback is requested. The next guild gathering, coming up in December, is on the topic of spies and intrigue. So while you're over there at the forums, be sure to stop by this thread and give your thoughts there as well. Margaret went on to say that the ongoing web updates such as SSO, 2FA, security, and mobile pages are still in process and coming along well. Stephen Sharif, the creative director, jumped in to say that not much has changed in the 2 weeks since the last update. The Extra Life event was a great boost to morale, the hiring front is going very well, and the second potluck was underway, this one a Thanksgiving theme. Stephen went on to say that he and John walked through the campus with the interior designer to determine locations for art and murals, of which they are really excited about. If you are part of the initial Kickstarter and purchased the Phoenix Initiative or higher, you will be part of the special studio tour once everything is completed with the move-in. Margaret added that all Kickstarter rewards will be addressed as the team gets further into development. Stephen talked about where the team is on the design front, by specifically referencing the depth and level of passion around combat and where it needs to be for Alpha 2. There is quite a bit of prototyping happening right now, and many major things are occurring to help get combat to the place they want it to be prior to the release of Alpha 2. Margaret asked if Stephen could delve a bit more into that, and he was happy to oblige. Elements such as how the camera perspective works in action versus non-action, unifying the tab targeting versus action modes, or continuing to offer 2 distinct modes. He went on to say that questions are being asked, if abilities will be shared across nodes, or exploring the possibility that players will spec into action skills versus tab targeting skills. They are prototyping skills having dual purpose, or possibly keeping skills in one domain or another. They want to make sure that the skills feel good in either mode while also keeping performance where it needs to be. Stephen mentioned projectiles are still a hot topic. Questions like how to lead a target are coming up. Additionally, it's been decided that a universal hitbox will be applied, specifically to prevent players from feeling the need to take a smaller race or physique build to have a smaller hitbox, limiting options. Stephen then had an 11-minute in-game video showcasing 3 new mounts. He issued the usual preface that during this part of the process many things are being ripped apart, changed, and ripped apart again, so work in progress items are not really available. So for the time being, they will be showing more of the game world and mounts, with the promise that more content is coming soon. Stephen went on to reiterate that when they show new assets, they want them to be mostly finished, as the mid-work is really not something meant for public consumption. The video started off by showing a beautiful armor set with a white tabard. Next up was a frog mount called a dredge horn, showcasing very lifelike movement both on land and in the water. After that was the Maelstrom crown mount, seemingly a cross between an octopus and a clam with some really fluid looking movement and even a fun idle animation. Steven speculated that the animal husbandry system might offer different tentacle looks. Lastly was the Verdant Voyager, a thick alligator-looking mount, again with very realistic movements on both land and sea, with an idle animation that puts its head down on the ground followed by a big yawn and a mushroom ecosystem on its back. Steven mentioned that this particular mount didn't have sound or footprints at this time, but of course were coming in due time. Moving on to environment assets, Margaret showed off the following: a Dunere camp, candles, an archery target with apples on top, folding chairs that are operational, navigation tool set for a desk, an Empyrean rowboat or skiv, table settings, a table, a platform for mayors to speak from or possibly a bard to perform, a desk, 2 versions of a divider, both open and closed, a signpost, Kalar lighting fixtures, vases, and a basket of fruit, the same assets just shown but this time placed in game, a dresser, a side table, and finally a chest. For the character art section, another beautiful set of armor called the Black Scale Inverter by designer Eli was shown. Steven ruminated on how such armor would look on a very portly character versus the fit models. Next up was the Jaded Dredger mount by designer Junzi, followed by the stallion, which was touched up from the original presentation, and another version of the same stallion. Lastly was the Purgle, shown as a still frame last month and this month with not only animation but also sounds. The final segment, as always, was a Q&A with questions being taken from the community forums on the official site. Gear sets will not be hot swappable with a button push while in combat, but a good chance of that being allowed out of combat. Siege scroll declarations will be specific to a node stage. Players will have access to universal skills such as Act-to-Block and Dodge. These progressions may align with the passive tree to include points for universal abilities. For mayorship, donations will be made available upon completion of the election. Server stats, such as race and class diversity, will not be made available at all times. That said, there will likely be times that such information will be released in graph form during update videos. From a guild perspective, those stats will always be available to leadership. PvP permissions will not be allowable inside a freehold, but that does change if a freehold is destroyed, at which point PvP flagging is turned back on. World bosses will put ancillary effects into the world upon their death, but no specifics were given at this time on what that will look like. Steven reiterated that they are very committed to producing the highest quality game possible, and they intend to take their time to do just that. That's our update for November 2021 on the State of the Union for Ashes of Creation. All the links referenced in this video can be found below in the description. If you enjoyed the video and would like to be notified of more, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and set it to all. Leave us a comment below. There's a straw poll for you to cast a vote as well. Please be sure to check out other content on the Gaming Butler channel as we track several other games too. Thank you, and see you next time. It's just bad writing. That's what's going on here. I'm a victim of my own bad writing. Or bad proofreading. Or bad proofwriting. It's both. Again, this time with feeling. Turns out that sitting around in a shirt and tie and undershirt and vest is rather warm. This is just a bad paragraph. It was a bad paragraph at the start, it was a bad paragraph in the middle, and it was a bad paragraph at the end. And that's just leading to all manner of consternation for me. Let's play a game called How Many Times Can Chris Read the Same Paragraph Over and Over Again? It's like a squeeze toy. Let's try that again. We're proofreading live on recorded video. I'm now starting to wonder if I actually proofread this thing at all. I think the answer here is no. I don't think I did.